إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا كبيرا.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Quran Made Easy. This is your brother Abu Muhammad. This is the first lesson of this new series. In this first lesson, we're going to learn how to recite Surah Al-Fatiha correctly and remove some of the common mistakes. Now let's open our Quran to Surah Al-Fatiha. After أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, we find the statement Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now if you notice, on the ba there's a kasra, on the mim there's a kasra, on the hand the word Allah we have a kasra, on the noon there's a kasra, on the ha there's a kasra. So there are quite a few kasras in this very first statement, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So we meant to pronounce these letters with kasra and their kasras in a very clear manner. So right from the first word, Bismi, the ba has to be pronounced with a clear kasra. Bismi. If I was to say Bismillah, which is very common to hear, even some reciters, you hear Bismillah. To say Bismillah, the ba, I will be putting a sukun instead of a kasra. The ba has a kasra, so it has to sound like an E sound. Bismi, not Bismillah. Likewise, the mim has a kasra. We find mim has a kasra, so we mean to pronounce with the kasra. Me. So Bismi, and not Bismillah. To say Bismillah, Bismillah, I'll be putting a sukun on the mim. And the ha likewise, Bismillah, not Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So in this first statement, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, let's concentrate on making the kasras clear. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ha, we have a kasra at the end. Ar-Rahim, when we stretch the kasra to Ar-Rahim, please make sure that the stretching of the kasra sounds like an E sound. Ar-Rahim, Him, this is kasra. But to say Ar-Rahim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ar-Rahim, this is in between Fatha and a kasra, in the middle. We don't want anything in the middle. It should be either Fatha or kasra. So clearly, in this very first ayah, let's concentrate on the kasra. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then we have the word Alhamdu. Alif here is a light letter. Arabs pronounce the alif in a light manner. And not a. So, Alhamdu. And we don't stretch the alif. We don't say Alhamdu. Alif is only one count. Alhamdu. Not Alhamdu. To say Alhamdulillah, you change the meaning. So the meaning, the original meaning, Alhamdulillah means all praise and thanks are due to Allah. But if we stretch Alhamdulillah, this turns into a question. Do praise and thanks belong to Allah? So this is incorrect. So we don't stretch the alif. Yeah? So Alhamdulillah. Then we have the word Rabbi. Ra has a fatha. When Ra has a fatha, we pronounce Ra in a heavy way. Ra, and not Ra. So it's not Alhamdulillah Ra, not Ra but Ra. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The Ain in the word Al-Alameen, we stretch it to two counts. Al-Alameen, Rabbil Alameen, and not more than that. We hear, it's very common to hear people saying Rabbil Alameen. To say Rabbil Alameen, this is doing more than two counts. What's been narrated from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is that he stretched this type of mad to two counts, not more than that. So try not to do more than that. So Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Next ayah, we have the word Ar-Rahmani. The word Ar-Rahmani starts with an alif, and we said previously, in the previous ayah, the alif is a light letter. Then we have Ra with a fatha. Now Ra is a heavy letter. So now we have two letters. The first letter being light letter, the second being a heavy letter. So whenever we have this situation where there's one letter which is light, one heavy, or next to each other, we have to be very careful and give each one their due right. We do not make both of them heavy by saying Ar-Rahmani, nor do we make both of them light by saying ar-Rahmani. But we make the first letter light, second letter heavy. So then ra. Ar-Ra. Ar-Ra. Not ar-Ra, but ar-Ra. So ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Then the next ayah, we have the word Maliki. Notice on the kaf, there's a kasra. Maliki. It's very common to hear people saying Malik Yawmiddin, Malik. To say Malik Yawmiddin, we're not putting the kasra on the kaf. We're putting a sukun. Malik Yawmiddin, which is incorrect. It should be Maliki. Liki. You should hear the kaf with a kasra. Ki. Maliki Yawmiddin. The next ayah, we have the word Iyaka. Iyaka, we have a shadda on the ya. Shadda, that W sign, it means there are two letters in the same place. The first letter having no vowel and the second letter having a vowel. So in this situation, ya has a shadda, means the first ya, there's a sukun, and the second ya has a fatha. So iyaka, whenever we see a shadda, we hold, then let go. So iyaka, iyaka, iyaka na'budu, iyaka na'budu. If we don't hold the ya, and if we say Iyaka na'budu, then the meaning will change. It will give a very bad meaning. The words Iyaka na'budu mean you, or Allah, you alone do we worship. But if we don't put the shadda, if we say Iyaka, then the meaning will be Iya in Arabic is the sun's light. So Iyaka, your sun's light do we worship. This goes against the teaching of Islam. The most important surah in the whole Quran, which is the summary of all of our religion, the summary of all the surahs, this is Surah Al-Fatiha. And the ayah that summarizes Surah Al-Fatiha, which is the most important principle in our religion, is Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. You Allah, you alone do we worship, and you alone do we ask for help. So if someone would say Iyaka na'budu, your son's light, Iyaka na'budu, your son's light, do we worship, your son's light, do we ask for help? They go against the whole principle of Islam. So be very, very careful by holding there. So Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Nasta'in. Seen here has a sharp S hissing sound. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Next ayah we have Ihdina. Ihdina here, we don't bounce it, we don't make a qalqala sound. Ihdina, like how some people say it. It should be Ihdina. Then we have the word as-sirata. Ihdina as-sirata. Sad is heavy and sharp. Ihdina as-sirata. And please don't move your lips with sad, like how some people do it. Ihdina as-si. Notice si. It's not si. There's no need to move the lips. There are only three letters that are articulated with the lips. And that's mim, waw, and ba. Sad is not from these three letters. So no need to move your lips forward and make it like Ihdina as-si. Make it natural. Ihdina as-si. So no need to move the lips forward. The only letters that articulate from the lips are mim, waw, and ba. So Ihdina as-sirata. Then we have ta here. Ta is from the heavy letters. So we pronounce it in a heavier manner. Ihdina as-sirata. Ta and not ta. It's not Ihdina as-sirata. Ta. But ta. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Mustaqim. Then we have صراط الذين أنعمت. Noon has a sukun, mim has a sukun. So just hold both and let it go. أنعمت. So أنعمت. صراط الذين أنعمت. أنعمت. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير. We have the word غير. غين is from the heavy letter, so we pronounce it in a heavy way. غير. And not غير, but غير. غير المغضوب. The word مغضوب, mim is light, غين is heavy. So ما, then غ, مغضوب. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Now we have here ولا الضالين. Dad here, Dad is the only letter, our Arabic language is the only language that has this letter Dad. This is from the most difficult letters. So we have to pronounce as clear as we can to a dad. If we change it to a dal, like how some people recite walad dalin, then the meaning completely changes. Walad dalin means don't make us from those who are misguided. But if we say walad dalin with a dal, it means don't make us from those who guide others. This goes a complete opposite meaning. So dad should be pronounced clearly, walad dalin. When we stretch this word, we stretch it to 6 counts. Please note, when I stretched this med to 6 counts, once I finish stretching, I make a little jump to the next letter. So وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. Note here please that this mad is 6 counts. Can we do less than 6 counts? Can we say وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ 2 counts? No. Can we go more than 6 counts? Can we say وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ? No, we can't do that. This is too long. We should stick to what's been narrated. So 6 counts here. Now, can we shake the mads? Can we say وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ? No. What if it sounds nicer? Even if it sounds nicer. What if famous reciters do it this way? Even if famous reciters do it this way, this is a tajweed rule. We should not vibrate or shake the mad, because doing this is producing multiple letters. We only want one letter and stretch that one letter. So we do it in a straight line. وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. No, وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. Doing this is producing multiple letters. Now, an important note to make here in this last ayah, صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ. Some people, they stop at صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ, then they start from the word غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ. This is fine to do this, but it's better not to do this. Why is this the case? Because we should not start on any word, we should not begin on any word that ends with a kasra in the middle of an ayah. If it's in the beginning of an ayah, it's fine, but middle of an ayah, we should avoid this. So we say Ar-Rahmani, Nun has a kasra. This is a word, we start on a word that has a kasra, but this is the beginning of an ayah. Maliki, Kaf has a kasra, but this is the beginning of an ayah. But if you look at the last ayah, Sirat al-Ladina, in our Mus'haf, our mode of recitation, which is Hafs and Asim, from Sirat al-Ladina Namta until the end, Wala al-Dhalin, is written as one ayah. So Ghayri, this is part of the same ayah. So we should not start here because part of the same ayah. But if you look at another Mus'haf, Warsh Mus'haf, you find that غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ, this is the last ayah on that mode of recitation. So our mode of recitation from Sirat al-Ladina An'amta until then is one ayah, but their mode of recitation from غَيْرِ is the new ayah. So they can do that. But as for us, which most of the ummah are using the Hafs and Asim Mus'haf, then we should avoid to start from this word. So how can we do it? We can do it in 2 ways. We can read the whole ayah with one breath if we're able to, like this. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Or we can recite, then go back and then finish the ayah. What do I mean by this? So we can say صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم. Stop, then go back. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So the second way, I went forward, then I went back to the same ayah. But what should be avoided is to stop, complete, and then start from the word غير. Now here, important notes to make here is that in this surah, if you notice at the end of each ayah in the surah, you find the second last letter is a ya sukun. Second last letter is a ya sukun and preceded by letter that has kasra. Whenever we find this situation and we're stopping on this word, then once we stop, we can stretch the ending to 2, 4, or 6 counts. So it's permissible to say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, 2 counts, or Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, 4 counts or 6 counts. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It's fine to do 2, 4, or 6. But if we do 2, we should do 2 all the way. 4, 4 all the way, 6, 6 all the way. You cannot do the first ayah 2, then second ayah 4, then third ayah go back to 2. No, it should be consistent. The people of the Quran, they advise that the speed of the recitation should be in accordance to the level of mad. So if you're going to go fast, say it in 2 counts, the ending of these ayats. If you're going to go in a medium pace, say it in 4 counts. If you're going to read slowly, in a slower manner, then do it on a 6 count. And also an important note to make here is that once we finish every ayah, when we pause, we should take a new breath when we recite the next ayah. Don't say it in the same ayah. So this is how it should be. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Stop with a new breath. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. And not Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Do not stop and do not pause and continue with the same breath. Pause and start with a new breath. So this is the end of the lesson. Now inshallah I'm going to recite the whole surah. Inshallah please try to remember the rules that we learned. I'm going to apply them now. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Now this is the end of the lesson. What did we learn in today's lesson? In today's lesson we learned number one, that all the vowels on every single letters should be very clear. If you have a fatha on a vowel, it should sound like a fatha. If you have a kasra on a vowel, it should sound like a kasra, and nothing in between. Number two, we learned that some letters are heavy and other letters are light. So when it comes to heavy letters, we should make them heavy. When it comes to light letters, we should make them light wherever they are on the verse. In addition to this, some letters have a shadda. We should always hold on the letters that have a shadda, or else their meanings might change, just like the way we found out in this surah. Number three, when it comes to stretching, we should stretch the letters, or we should stretch the words according to what's been narrated from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and not what we think is right. So for example, if we know that narration says that this particular place, the Prophet ﷺ did it in 2 counts, we should make it to 2 counts. This particular place, 6 counts, it should be 6 counts. And also the way that we do the mad, the stretching, the method that we do it should be in accordance to the rules of tajweed. And finally, all the endings of this surah, Surah Al-Fatiha, we can stretch the endings to 2, 4 or 6 counts. The scholars of the Quran, they recommend that the stretching of these verses should be in accordance to the speed of the reciter. So if the reciter is reciting at a faster pace, then they should do 2 counts at the end of these ayats. If they do at a medium pace, if they recite at a medium pace, then they should do 4 counts. And if they recite at a slow pace, then they should make it to 6 counts. Now this is the end of the lesson. If anyone has any questions related to today's lesson, feel free to ask, and inshallah we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Don't forget to do the short quiz to test yourself what you've learned today. We've also provided PDF notes for today's lesson. And finally, please don't forget to share and forward our videos to all your contacts. For the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us, "Man dalla ala khayr falahu mithlu ajri fa'ili." Whoever calls to goodness, whoever encourages any form of goodness, then they'll get the same reward as that person who performs that goodness. So if you're to forward these videos to your contacts, each time they benefit, they listen, they change their recitation, then you're going to get the reward for them. And if they share it to other people, you're going to get their reward and for everyone else. This is one beautiful teaching from the many beautiful teachings of our beautiful religion. Jazakumullah khairan for watching. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.